Hello everyone, welcome to a new physical media update video. I got a few movies I want to talk about today, as well as a vinyl, so let's just jump into it, I guess. I don't know how to really start this video up, so I'm just going to start it just now. Firstly, I got, hold on, actually, I bought this twice, actually. Here is the 2-disc limited edition DVD of Memento, as you can see here. I think this might have one of the most interesting packaging I've ever seen. I got this for 16 bucks on eBay. I've wanted to own this for quite a while, so this one is always one I've been intrigued by. I watched this movie, I think, like 2 months ago, as far as I'm aware. 3. And I absolutely loved this movie. This is probably one of my favorites probably my favorite from Nolan now. Now anyway, but I think it's better than his. I think I'm gonna be honest. I think it's better than The Dark Knight. Maybe for now, but I don't know. I feel like it is better than The Dark Knight, and his recent film Oppenheimer, which was also phenomenal. But here it is. This is how the set opens up. It's kind of like a case file, which is pretty interesting. One of the most interesting things about this DVD is the fact that you don't know which disc it is when you pop it out of the case. So this is actually disc 2. You actually have to read up here what the which disc it is. So this is actually disc 2 with the extras. And I like how they somewhat confuse you because both discs have the R rating on it. So you have to let me actually get this disc out. I'll actually show the packaging in a moment, actually, what the text says here. I've also heard reading some of the packaging also gives away a few things, which I don't supposedly recommend if this isn't your first time watching it. If you've never watched this movie before. So, I'd be wise not to read any of it until after you've seen it. As you can see here, this says disc 1, and you can tell what disc they are because it lines up. You can see here. So that's kind of cool. It's a pretty cool DVD. But yes, it's somewhat of a case file. I think I've already mentioned this, but the fact that both the R rating is on both discs of this set is pretty cool. In here, once again, I say don't read a lot of it because it might give away. That's what I've heard from some people. I've never actually read the entire thing, which probably should. But this one actually tells you how to start the movie, as this is disc 1's menu. That's right, this is the main menu of the disc, which is pretty cool. To play the movie, select the word watch and press enter. Pretty cool. It's kind of like a case. It's kind of like a case file, which is pretty cool. Maybe it gives away. I'm not for sure. I haven't read it. That's what I've heard from some people. That it might give away, or maybe it was just something I heard in my head or something. I don't know. Now let me just put this away. Actually, there's something on the tab here. Might as well show it. Here it is. So, yeah, pretty cool. This is actually a post-it note as well, which is pretty awesome. So, pretty awesome to this set. I would love to go through this one day. There's actually a 40-minute video of this online that goes through the entire DVD menu of this set, because the menus are confusing. So, as you can tell already from the example they give for disc 1, yeah, it's a pretty confusing menu on its own. So, I'm going to put this all away. Give me a moment. Alright, so that's this DVD. Also, it comes with a J card I forgot to show off. So, here it is. No synopsis on the back. It's just the extras and the credits and the R rating and everything. It's pretty cool. Alright, so what else do I also bought this movie on Blu-ray because I liked it so much. Why not buy it twice? I was initially just going to buy one or the other, but I decided why not go for both, because I loved this movie, man. I need to get to a lot of Christopher Nolan's films. I've heard Interstellar and Inception are phenomenal. I just have not watched them yet, and I feel ashamed that I feel ashamed that I haven't yet. So there's the Blu-ray. So there you go. There's that. There's also a few extras missing that's not on the DVD, which is one of the reasons why I wanted the DVD, but I bought both. Why not? So, so yes, one of my favorite films from Nolan, without a doubt. I'm gonna have to rewatch The Dark Knight, but still, I think this might actually be my favorite. For now, anyway. So here is the next one. Here is Stand By Me. Actually, hold on, give me a moment. Sorry, I accidentally forgot the J card for this one, but this is the Steelbook that released, I think, in December last year. Was shocked that this was still available. So I was like, alright. Also, I had the DVD, which I actually gave to my brother because he wanted this movie on DVD, and I was actually wanting to upgrade this one to a newer release. So I don't have that DVD anymore, and I just have this now. I have the old VHS of this one as well. Did I show this? I forgot if I didn't show the J card. Here it is. Here is the discs themselves. So here's the Blu-ray. I always put the Blu-rays up first because these have protective layers and the 4K discs do not. I know the 4Ks actually do come up here, but I don't like that. Since these discs don't have protective layers and they might actually touch this, and I'm very protective about my physical releases. So, yeah. Here's the artwork. There we go, I'm going to slide this in. And, yeah, there's no digital code, which is really interesting. But, glad I've upgraded this one. I actually have the VHS of this one. I think that my tape actually has a few tracking issues, though. It kind of makes a loud noise throughout the whole thing. You might hear it. I'm going to try and imitate it and not sound goofy as hell, but I'm going to try. It's kind of like a sound like through the tape. It only happens once in a while if you actually put it in a VCR that actually has tracking manual and automatic tracking control. If your VCR doesn't have a tracking control thing that shows, it moves left and right to automate the tracking, or a manual tracking control, it will sound like that through the entire tape, which is really interesting. But yep, I have the VHS and now I have the 4K, so pretty cool. Next up, this one I got during the Prime Day deals. I think this was in June. This one I also got in June, I think. The Blu-ray and the DVD I got in September. So, yeah. Hold on, give me a moment. Sorry, my dog wanted in. So I have the 4K release of Batman here. This one I got during the Prime Day deals. I know there's a box set that comes with all four, but I kind of wanted to just get the first one for now since this one was on sale for $10, which honestly, I think this might actually be my favorite Batman film in general. Yes, you heard me right. Better than The Dark Knight. Okay, maybe not better than The Dark Knight. I don't know. I keep going back and forth saying that this is better than The Dark Knight, but then again, I say that I don't think it's as better as The Dark Knight. Without a doubt, it's definitely my favorite Batman film, and this is coming from someone that needs to rewatch The Dark Knight and The Batman, which I thought were both pretty good on their own, so this is just one I'm going to have to rewatch. Well, The Dark Knight and The Batman. I just watched The Penguin, the first episode of The Penguin last night, and I really liked it. I felt like it was a really good episode. It's kind of hard to find it's kind of hard to discuss thoughts around a series when you've just only watched the first episode of a series. Kind of late to the party when it came to The Penguin, but yeah, love the show so far. Watching the first episode, great episode. I cannot wait to continue, but I think I'm gonna rewatch the Batman first with Robert Pattinson before I continue on, but. Here it is. Here's the Blu-ray, and the 4K. I think one of the reasons why this is my favorite is because this was like the first like dark PG-13 film I think I saw. Like I think there might have been a few beforehand, but this is one where my mom took me to the rental store, and I think I wasn't allowed to watch the new Dark Knight directed by Christopher Nolan and has Christian Bale and Heath Ledger. You know it, I know it. But but this was the first one I watched, and I think that's probably the reason why I've always considered it my favorite. Because nowadays anyway, because it's just such a fun movie. It's such a great time. Jack Nicholson as the Joker is a blast. I mean, there's a scene where he goes into a museum and graffitis all the artwork while Prince's Party Man is playing. It's just really funny. It's just really enjoyable. Michael Keaton is a great Batman too. I think he's on par with Christian Bale and Robert Pattinson. They're just the greats when it comes to movie Batman. The Batman movie. I'm trying to say that right, but when it comes to movies, when it comes to Batman, I feel like it. So yeah, I think this is just one of my favorites because I think this film has always been a favorite of mine. I saw this 4K not long ago. Pretty good transfer. Same thing I can say about Stand By Me and Memento. But yeah, pretty good transfer. They changed the audio though, which I don't have an issue with since I thought both sounded pretty good. But they changed some of the sound effects, which I mostly complain about when it comes to some 4Ks or Blu-rays when they do a surround remix. And this one already had a surround remix when it first came to Blu-ray. I actually have it, but it's not in the best condition. Like, it skips, I think, a bit, which is unfortunate, but I'm going to have to replace it. But, well, the discs themselves, I actually have the old 2008 Blu-ray set, which I don't know if those discs were able to get disc rot. I don't know. But then again, I didn't get the Blu-ray set in 2008. It was like 2016 or something. So I don't know. If you didn't know, Warner had a disc rot problem around 2006, 2008, and a few other companies had disc rot issues as well. So that kind of clears it up. I think the manufacturers and the plant of the discs were just not the best. And basically, I don't know what basically happened. I'm going to have to look up more information about that. So I'm trying the best with the information I can. So yeah, so that's Batman. It's probably one of my favorite films of all time. It's something I always loved and come back to. I had the VHS of this one. I also watched that recently. So it's just a really fun time. I love this movie a lot. That's all I can really say. It's just a great film. Now, I have these next 4Ks. These are all one franchise. So I'll go for each one at a time. I'm only missing one entry of this franchise, which I still have to get. But for now, this is what I have. So here is the first Mad Max. This is actually a 4K by Kino Lorber. Haven't seen this transfer. I know there's a dub track. My DVD copy had one as well. But I have not watched it yet. And I probably should soon. Since I've never seen it, and I love this franchise a lot. I think it might actually be one of my favorite franchises when it comes to movies in general. Especially with the most recent entry, which is just fun as well. It's just a great time. And here's the discs from Mad Max. This one is a great movie. Definitely isn't the crazy, desert atmosphere of the Road Warrior up to the new one, Furiosa. But I like this one a lot. It has that unique. It's a unique film, which is very different from the new and the next entries of this franchise. I love it a lot. It's definitely not perfect, though. I think it's a pretty great movie on its own, though. It's very fun. Also, this also comes with reversible artwork, which is pretty cool. This one's actually reflective of the United States poster, which is pretty cool. But I like this one. This one actually came in like this in default, which I think is the best. Plus, the spine actually has has the logo and it's not just the Kuno Lorber font. So, yeah, let me put this back. So there's Mad Max 1. Great film, great start. But I think my favorite of this franchise is without a doubt, and probably my favorite, is Mad Max The Road Warrior. Or the Mad Max 2, or The Road Warrior, as it was in the United States. This is just one of my favorite action films, period. I love the apocalyptic setting. I love the group. The group in this one. The Gyrocopter is a great side character. I think he's one of my favorite side characters of the entire franchise. There's also some pretty cool villains as well. Especially this guy, Wes. Absolute nut job. This is just one of my favorites when it comes to action movies in general. It's just a blast. It truly shows all practical effects. I know you could say the same thing about Fury Road, but I just really love it. This one it holds something that's just really cool about it. Like, this one kind of poses Max as some sort of, like, legend story. I mean, the opening explains that a lot. I think it's just one of my favorites when it comes to action films in general. You could literally watch this as a solo movie, and you kind of get the whole point of it. Which makes sense, because, well, the United States advertised it as The Road Warrior. Because Mad Max 1 did not do well here, as well as in Australia. So The Road Warrior did pretty well here, because it wasn't associated with another movie that didn't do as well. And that's probably how a lot of people watched it for the first time. And I'm stumbling on my sentences. That's probably how a lot of people saw The Road Warrior when it first came out. And they probably didn't even know that it was a sequel until the first Mad Max was released on home video, being declared, being said that it was the prequel to The Road Warrior. I think Vestron Video's box said that when it came to VHS and Laserdisc. But overall, this is just one of my favorite action films without a doubt. I don't know, just something about it just screams, oh yeah, this is my favorite in general. This guy here, Humongous, is awesome. Awesome villain. They're not the best villains when I think about it, but they're just really, really fun villains on their own. It's just a fun time. You know what I mean? It's Mad Max The Road Warrior, man. And the only one I'm actually missing on 4K is not Road Warrior. I just showed The Road Warrior. It is Beyond Thunderdome. And I don't have it yet. Probably because it's my least favorite of the franchise. I still really like the movie, but it's definitely the weakest. I have The Road Warrior. I mean, getting my titles mixed up. I think I might really love this movie, you guys. Fury Road. This is the one I also got along with Batman. Both of these were like $10, and I think this one's pretty good. Don't think Tom Hardy is as good as Mel Gibson, but he's almost on par. I would love to rewatch this one. It's an awesome film. This is like the real wasteland at this point. Like, the Road Warrior Road Warrior and Beyond Thunderdome established what a wasteland could be here, and what it's coming to be. Which, I mean, it is, but this movie basically turns the wasteland into an absolute apocalypse. Everyone is crazy in this, at least in some caliber. Whenever it comes to what is the big guy again? I forgot. He's played by the same guy who did Toe Cutter in the first movie, the main villain of the first. What was his name? Crap, I forgot. This is shocking because this is one of my favorite franchises, and I don't remember the main villain. I think it's crap, I can't remember. All the things I can't remember, and I can't remember the main guy's name. Which is really funny. Shit. Well, I'll come back to that later once I remember it. Actually, hold on, give me a moment. Alright, I remembered the main villain's name. It was Immortan Joe. Crazy dude. He's, which is real, and they're both played by the same guy. The main villain of the first movie, the Toe Cutter, is played by the same guy who does Immortan Joe in Fury Road, which is crazy. Which is crazy fan service if you think about it. The gangs in the Wasteland are just absolutely nuts, and I thought the gang in the Road Warrior was nuts. This one is obviously probably the better film, and I probably should throw it on my 5 out of 5 list on my Letterboxd, or the film reviewing site that I always go on. Yeah, Letterboxd. But this is a crazy, crazy movie, and I just really love it. It's a fun time. Furiosa here is a very interesting character which I will say because, well, she got her movie this year. Which I'll get to in a actually, I'll get to now, actually, screw it. But yeah, Fury Road, amazing movie. I don't have a lot to say, unlike I did with Road Warrior. Probably because a lot of Fury Road is kind of like the Road Warrior in a lot of ways. Furiosa. This one kind of clears a lot of things up with her character in this movie in general. Try not to stutter over my sentences. This one actually clears a lot of her character as a whole. In Fury Road, she was kind of shown as kind of more hopeful person in the apocalypse, which is probably one of the best things about Beyond Thunderdome for me, is that it kind of showed a lot more hope to the apocalypse wasteland. And it's probably one of my favorite elements in Beyond Thunderdome, and Fury Road kind of does the same thing. I think it actually does it way better too. And this movie, it fully somewhat embraces that. There's a lot more likable characters this time around. There's the villain, played by Chris Hemsworth, is great. What is his name again? I can't believe I forgot his name. Dementus. Great villain. Very enjoyable performance by Chris Hemsworth. It's a blast. It's a fun, enjoyable ride, and it's kind of more... I like how this one kind of plays a lot more like a full-on story, unlike something like Fury Road and the Road Warrior did. Which, I mean, yes, Fury Road definitely did have a story. But this one kind of expands the more story aspect a lot more. It's not the same action-y packed, same level as Fury Road. Actually, there's a bit of CGI in this one, unlike Fury Road and the Road Warrior and 1 and 3. So definitely this one has some weakings to there's definitely some stuff that's not as good as it is in the previous films. But this one's definitely a blast. Want to make sure I'm not ripping the disc out. Yeah, this is definitely not the best Mad Max film in my eyes. I think it arrives in third place. If I had to give a ranking of these movies, I'd say The Road Warrior is 1, and The Road Warrior is 1, Fury Road is 2, but then again, it might actually be a tie once I rewatch Fury Road. We'll see. But 3 is this movie, Furiosa. 4 is the first Mad Max. And then 5 is Beyond Thunderdome, which is still, I think, pretty good on its own. It's definitely a lot tamer, though, and it's definitely actually less action-packed than Furiosa. But once again, I like all these movies. They're just very enjoyable, very interesting, well-made films. And yeah, I don't know what else to really say about these films. These are all great in some way. I think they're all really enjoyable. They're just great action films and I liked how this, and Furiosa, I'm kind of glad they took a more story angle with Furiosa. which is really nice to see. So there you go. That's the Mad Max franchise. That's all I have to say about the Mad Max franchise. I guess I'll go talk about 3 really quick. I think it's pretty good. Definitely the weakest when it comes to these movies. Actually, I'll just set this here. But I think Tina Turner was pretty good for what for a role anyway. But yeah, definitely everything is definitely weaker, but it's still pretty good. I honestly still I have a soft spot for Fury Beyond Thunderdome. Now I'm getting my titles mixed up. What am I doing? But yeah, there you go. That's the Mad Max franchise, and what's going on with these last 2 4K pickups? So this one I also got not that long ago. I had the DVD of this one. This is The Deer Hunter. This one I had the DVD for a while. I'm probably gonna sell it soon. That's right, you hear me. That's right, you hear me. I'm gonna start an eBay store soon. I don't know when, but I'm definitely gonna start an eBay store soon. Because I have a lot of stuff I just don't want, and also I have a lot of stuff I'd rather get and make room for. But yep, this is just one of my. This movie I haven't seen in a while, but I remember the last time I saw it and I was blown away. A very great Vietnam War movie. Definitely a very great Vietnam War movie, and it doesn't even feel like a Vietnam War movie. It feels like a movie about people going through before, during, and after the Vietnam War. Or at least their term and period in the Vietnam War. It's a very great movie. Once I remember it being really great, I would love to rewatch this soon. So yep, that's all I have to say on Deer Hunter for now. Then the last 4K here is one of my favorite comedies of all time. South Park, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut. This is just one of my favorite comedies of all time. And I was wondering how this would look in 4K, especially when there's other titles coming out around the same time that probably would benefit more. But I'm impressed to say this actually looks pretty good, which is pretty shocking considering that South Park is not the first thing when you think of, an animated movie in 4K, which is shocking. And this movie is pretty, I think this movie is pretty awesome. I think it's one of my favorite animated comedies. It has, I love the commentary of this, the satire on censorship, the MPAA. It's a very funny movie. I think it's one of my favorites. The fact that this I like also how this whole plot evolves into them getting into like World War III, and then it just somehow gets involved when Satan is trying to take over the world. If these two goofy comedians, Terrence and Phillip, die, Satan can take over the world, which is just really, really funny. And it's just really funny how it escalates. This is just one of my favorite comedies. I don't know what to really say here. So, yeah, this is just one of my favorites, without a doubt. It's very funny, very enjoyable. Don't know what else to really say, though. It's just a blast. Beginning to end, every single joke I think lands. It's just really hilarious. And that's all the movies, actually. I have a video game here. We still have a few to talk about. I got a video game. My brother actually has a PS5 now. He bought a PS5 a while back. And I actually wanted to play a game that I wanted to play on his console. And I wanted to try the new PlayStation 5 stuff. So I got the remake of Silent Hill 2. I played the original game not that long ago. I'm playing through the first one now, and yeah, this is just I think the original is a phenomenal video game. Yeah, is it dated in a few aspects? I guess so. But I think I think Silent Hill 2 is it's kind of like a it's kind of like a piece of art. yes, is it? It's what am I trying to say here? I'm stumbling right now. I think it's just a really, really well written game on its own. And it has the themes of the game are just really, really great as well. Just everything about it is. It's kind of it's a very tragic video game when you really think about it. It is ultimately pretty sad, but it's very well done. I think it's probably one of my favorite horror games. And I had to go through a hassle to play the original games on PC. And I thought the original Silent Hill 2 was phenomenal. Even with all of its datedness intact, it's somewhat silly, but also really, really, really good voice acting. I just really loved the original game. And I'm playing through this one right now, and I honestly say, yeah, I think this is also a really, really, really well done game. It's funny how the remake is basically just as good as the original in like every way. It's incredible. I haven't finished this yet, but I'm loving this game so far, and I cannot wait to beat it once and for all. Now I got one more thing. This isn't a movie or a game. This is actually a vinyl record of Metallica and Justice for All. Yes, I kept the original shrink wrap. This actually is open. I've never played this, though, but I love Metallica. I think they're one of my favorite heavy metal rock bands in general. I think they're just really, really well done. Well, especially during their 80s period when they were releasing a lot of their, the ones. Ride the Lightning, Master of Puppets, Kill 'Em All, which I actually have right here. Which, unfortunately, they're somewhat beaten up. This sleeve for Master of Puppets is not the best, but here's Master of Puppets. And there's Kill 'Em All. And now I have And Justice for All to that mix. So, pretty cool. Give me a moment here. I'm going to actually pull all this out, since there's a lot to go through. Now, here's a card here. This is actually an MP3 download code, so I'm going to keep this. I actually downloaded the files already, but I don't know if you can redeem it again. I didn't try, so here's a lyric sheet, which is pretty cool. This was actually one of the more harder to find Metallica albums. For whatever reason, it's like going for like 40 to 50 bucks. But yeah, it's kind of one of those records that was kind of harder to get for whatever reason. Maybe it's such a good album that they keep selling out a lot. Maybe they stopped pressing it? I don't know. So here is the record 1. It says side 1. I'm not going to pull these out. Alright, flip this over. This is side 2. And that almost fell. That's great. Very good vinyl handling. Here's side 3. And here is side 4. Now, I've heard people say that paper sleeves are not great for your vinyls, which is probably the reason why I haven't taken these out yet anyway. But for now, I'm going to keep these in here and wait until I get, more plastic sleeves for a lot of my vinyls. So there's that. Now give me a moment. And that is all I have to show for now. I don't know if this is going to be the last pickup video at my house here, because I plan on moving soon to Tennessee, which hopefully that goes well. But for now, this is all I literally have to show. I hope you guys enjoyed the video despite my constant stuttering and pausing, which I'm sorry about that. And hopefully this came out well, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So there you go. That's it for now, and I'll see you guys soon.